UN-mediated peace talks to end the war in Syria are expected to begin in Geneva on Friday. But the head of a Saudi-backed Syrian opposition group has so far refused to attend. The group says it will not take part until aid reaches besieged towns where many people are dying from starvation. The conflict in Syria has killed more than 260,000 people and forced millions to leave their homes. Thousands more are missing. The UN envoy to Syria has called for peace ahead of the talks.
Years of this conflict have been too much. The horror is in the front of everyone's eyes. You must know also that we count on you to raise your voice, to say halas is enough, to say to everyone who is actually coming from Syria and from abroad to this conference that there are expectations on them to make sure that their vision, their capacity of compromise and discussion for reaching a peaceful solution in Syria is now, and they need to produce that. You have seen enough conferences, 2 of them already taking place. This one cannot fail.
Let's get more on this. Simon McGregor-Wood joins us now from Geneva, where the peace talks are set to take place. And tell us, who is there exactly and what are we expecting today?
Well, the UN is here and they're talking up this process, although I have to say at the moment it's looking like only one part of this process is going to turn up. The Syrian government, we expect to send a delegation at some point around about midday. They will arrive, and the UN is telling us at some point in the evening there'll be a photo opportunity of some kind where we'll see representatives of the Syrian government delegation in a room in this big building behind me. But as you say, the other half of this wedding, the bride or the groom, depending on your perspective, is refusing to come. The HNC, the Saudi-backed Higher National Committee, is still playing hard to get. They're still in Riyadh, insisting that before they come, they want significant concessions from the Syrian government and their Russian and Iranian allies on the battlefield, and for the time being, they seem reluctant to give those concessions.
Simon, without the Syrian opposition there, is there even a point to these talks going ahead?
Well, it seems difficult to imagine what could be achieved with the UN and the Syrian government delegation and no other representatives to discuss anything. There is a UN Security Council resolution 2254. It was passed in December. It has a grand political vision for an interim government, a national ceasefire, free and fair elections in 18 months to usher in some kind of new Syria. But clearly, without the opposition, and it is a broad-ranging coalition of different factions fighting and dying on the battlefields of Syria, without them participating in that process, it is only one-sided talk.
OK, Simon, good to speak to you. Simon McGregor-Wood there joining us live from Geneva with that update. And